Hello viewers, this is Marianne from Revealing Light Tarot and I want to read today on Jared Kushner. I actually did say during my last reading Kushner came into the frame and I said I'd like to follow up and read on him. So he's back. I think he's back from another trip to the Middle East. His supposed peace plan for the Middle East won't be released now until April, and the White House, when asked what Kushner does on these trips, really gives the same blanket kind of response regarding Kushner furthering US and various countries' economic ties and cooperation. So there's not really much to know or to tell, that according to the White House, about these frequent trips of Jared's. Now, overlaying all of that is the news last week that the White House and intelligence recommended that Kushner not be given a security clearance, and Donald Trump overrode those recommendations. That's quite serious. So let's have a look. What's he doing in the Middle East? Let's have a look. Why did Donald override Kushner's security clearance? Why did Donald? Yeah, I'm just getting the images here. Well, before I started, I got this image of a woman with a jeweled necklace on, and that generally tells me that there's some kind of, or could be some kind of possible. I'm not saying theft, but it's an image I get often when there's some kind of betrayal or theft. Not so much betrayal, although if someone is thieving from you, they're betraying you, aren't they? And then I'm getting these images of, lavish kind of hotel settings. It's not coming forward as government business. It's coming forward more as this opulent business. It's about business. So let's have a look. Why did Trump override his own intelligence people and the White House counsel and give Kushner that top secret security clearance against all good and expert advice? Why did Trump give Kushner that top secret clearance? I'm just getting business. Okay, so we've got the Tower as our main card, which is what this is saying is something is about to break regarding Kushner. I'll bring the laptop down. Okay, so we've got our signifier card as something about to, I'll just put my crystal there, something about to break around Kushner. The Tower, as we know, is destruction, ruin, and it's going to cause some extreme anxiety. Why did he give that top secret? It's actually we're going to be hearing more about this. I think this is going to come forward fairly soon. To draw these two cards here, so, straight off the bat, now we've got the burden and the Ten of Wands, which is carrying a load. I feel that Kushner may have been doing something on behalf of Trump and on behalf of Kushner during these meetings, and I think it is around their own business as well as other things. This is where I'm getting these images around a more of a business orientation, a more of a business energy than indeed a government energy. And here we've got the King of Pentacles here, which is, my card, as readers will know, my card for Trump, the businessman. But this is Trump, this is also Kushner, the businessman. I just want to make a point here before I go too much further. This is in the past position, so this is showing the business overlay that they are bringing to their work. And given that both of them have significant debt, it appears to me that some of these opportunities in the Middle East with countries like Saudi Arabia and others could potentially have been to ease certain I won't say debt, but really to advance each other's interests. That's what I'm seeing here. And the work that is going into enhancing each other's interests. How these things could happen when there are those around, travelling with him from the government, I'm not sure. Kushner only goes, I think I read in a recent article, he was only travelling with 2 or 3 aides. So so what we've got here is the Knight of Wands coming forward, and this looks like some kind of action coming down the pike for Kushner, because it's sitting over the tower here, and the anxiety, the business, the hard work. It's like what has been going on in the past is actually becoming harder and harder to achieve. Why? Because we've got the Sword of Truth coming out. So I think the Congress now is investigating why Kushner was given this top secret security clearance, despite intelligence, US intelligence and the White House Counsel recommend he doesn't get it. Now, the reason why did they recommend that in that way? The White House obviously won't be talking about security clearances, but what is the Congress going to find? We're looking at something happening fairly soon, because this prizing open the truth is in the immediate future. Now, as you know, tarot is not great with timelines, but immediate future would be looking, at least within, maybe the next month or so. Could be before then. Now, what is Kushner at the moment, and the basis of this situation is around financial insecurity. So this is what I felt going into the reading. This is why these upfront cards here, why this part of the reading is connected to the past business dealings, and also this business overlay that I got when I opened up this reading. The environment around Kushner is the Seven of Swords, and this is the theft and the betrayal that potentially the theft and the betrayal. The image that I got of the woman wearing a necklace, the business meetings in the palatial hotels where the energy was business, not government. One would have to ask what else is being conjured up during those meetings. The Seven of Swords. So what we've got here in the hopes and fears, we've got the Angel of Balance coming forward here. So in some way, the actions of the Congress, the media who would be right on top of this, they're going to bring a bit more balance back into this situation, or the hope is that they can bring a bit more balance here. There's also a divine aspect to this card. Kushner's fate, again, is rolled into Trump's fate and the fate of the Trump children. And we've got new beginnings, but we've also got the Fool here. I think, we could be finding out if he's being compromised, because that's really what the experts are worried about, because of his business dealings, because of his naiveness, his inexperience, and a certain arrogance that Kushner has. Has he really betrayed, wittingly or unwittingly, possibly could have betrayed US best interests and indeed their security interests? So this card would be suggesting that, I'll ask a follow-up question, but Kushner could go this time. He could, he could be, I don't think he's going to be fired, but he could lose that security top secret level. But there could be some news, there's some kind of truth coming down now, where he could not only lose that, but something's coming forward around the nature of why Trump gave that to him, which is actually that's saying that it could be taken away, and that we could have something coming forward pretty explosive around his security clearances that is actually going to cause him quite a lot of grief and anxiety. Just clarifying, clarifying the Fool here. We've got the King of Swords, and as we know, the King of Swords is someone in authority who's going to be speaking the truth. Either this is Congress, this is usually my Moolah card, but either way, something's coming down really soon for Kushner, which will actually be quite revealing as to what he's been doing, and also around that security clearance. So let's have another look here. He was all over the Middle East. He's not negotiating that. Well, according to the Palestinian negotiators, he doesn't appear to have made much progress on his Middle Eastern peace deal between Israel and Palestine, because they haven't really been consulted. So unless the US is brokering a deal without Palestine, Kushner's not really been making much progress in that regard. So again, the White House is just issuing these blanket statements which really don't say much around what Kushner has accomplished in the Middle East. So I think we should ask, what was he doing? Because we had that business overlay. What we asked directly, what was he doing? What was Jared Kushner doing in the Middle East? And I'm going negotiating. Negotiating what? Negotiating deals. Okay. So what was Kushner doing in the Middle East? Spirit. Was Kushner. Middle East. Okay, he was negotiating something. Negotiating deals. This is the Six of Wands. This is the victory card. The past is the challenge here, but it's also mirroring that card, something to do with past dealings that he may have had with those in the Middle East. Again, we've got the foundation of the reading. We've got balance coming forward, which is why I think something could be coming out fairly explosively around Jared Kushner, because we've got in the past, this is in the past position, he's had to defend himself. Now, if you remember what happened with his security clearance originally, it was actually, I think, suspended for a short time. The publicity died down, remember? Well, while the publicity was dying down, Trump then overrode the intelligence recommendations. So while we weren't looking, Kushner regained his top secret security clearance, or it was just, it just kept going. Now we've got the, I'll just bring the laptop down. What we've got, what was he doing in the Middle East? What's hanging over all of this? Now, I'm going to be quite clear about the Seven of Swords. It is the card of the thief in the night. It is the card of betrayal. What else was he doing there in the Middle East? Do these people honestly think that they can get away with this? The Seven of Swords. Okay, so it could be potentially around dishonesty as well. All is not, let's just say, all is not what it seems. There appears to be a connection with Kushner's past. He has defended himself on these matters before, but while we weren't looking, Trump overrode those recommendations. Now, we've got the Four of Wands here. Now, the Four of Wands is around family and around celebrations. Now, don't forget we've got the victory card. I think this is linking really strongly with the Seven of Swords. This is linking with Kushner's business interests. We asked what was he doing in the Middle East. And again, we've got the Ace of Income, which is Ace of Income. Well, it is almost that. The Ace of Pentacles, which is new income sources and deals. The environment around him is new starts. Okay. It's pretty clear, isn't it, what's been happening? The Five of Cups, the fear, okay, the loss. Okay. This is around, I think, the family businesses, potentially doing some kind of deals there, or allegedly some potentially could have been doing some kind of deals there that would have benefited the family businesses and particularly mitigate against those losses that we knew in the past Kushner to have. Indeed, because Trump overrode those security clearances, he was almost paving the way. So there's obviously something there that Kushner is doing for Trump. We've got new income sources. What else was being brokered at those meetings? Because they're leading to new starts here for Kushner. Potentially after loss. And really the foundation card is the Two of Wands. This is the card of expansion. Look at this card. It is somebody who is holding the world in their hands. There is a commercial expansion aspect to this card. It's very inspired. So these things were potentially benefiting the businesses of Kushner and Trump. They could have included some kind of proposal. Now, this is the Page of Cups, just clarifying the Two of Wands here in the outcome. Let me just bring this down. Clarifying the Two of Wands here, which is around planning and travel, as I said, expansion, commerce. It's also got an aspect of waiting for results. So these could have been longer term plans as well. And the Page of Cups comes forward as really around something new, some kind of new proposal coming forward here. But there's a naive aspect to this, and we've got money news to further clarify it. Again, a page, so there's naiveness here. Okay, so that's what he was doing in the Middle East. Potentially, these new income sources for US or for Kushner, it would appear allegedly could have been for his own value, and indeed Trump's own value as well. There is a link there also to the past and to Kushner having to really defend himself there. So the questions that arose around his, I think my feeling is, we'll ask. My feeling is originally the recommendation as to why he shouldn't receive a security clearance could have been to do with his conflict of interests around his business ties with those Middle Eastern countries, particularly Saudi Arabia. Let's just shuffle again because I want to drill down on why he wasn't given that security clearance, and then we'll finish with one more question. Is he likely, because of that Tower card, is he likely to be getting himself into deep trouble there? We've got something potentially breaking around him in the near future or immediate future. So let's have a look. I'm just going to cut the deck so we can start with a clean slate here. Okay, so So what was the basis of why he didn't get the security clearance? What was the basis of why he didn't? Okay, it's his financial status before he came into the White House. It's around the level of debt there. And potentially, given that level of debt, what could motivate him to try and ease that debt? Because I'm just getting the image of the necklace and then a hand coming to take it. So what do we need to know, Spirit? Why was why was it recommended he didn't get a security clearance? Why did they recommend he not get that top secret security? Compromise. I'm just getting the word compromise. He was compromised. Why was he compromised? Yeah, it is around that debt. So let's see. Okay, so we've got the luxury card coming here, the luxury card, the Nine of Pentacles. This is around someone's wealth. I'll bring the laptop down. That is the signifier card. It was around his business dealings in the past, and the challenge to that was his loss. This is the Three of Swords, the loss of money. That's what that is saying. So his financial independence, I just want to I keep doing this, sorry. These are important cards. His financial independence, which is what the Nine of Pentacles is. It's around financial, as I said, financial independence, was compromised by the loss of his financial independence. Now we're getting somewhere. Okay, I'll just make sure this is in the right. Yeah, you've got the right frame. What we've got, the King of Wands. Okay, so we asked why was he refused that top secret security clearance, his level of debt, the downturn in his finances, the losses that he'd experienced. But putting him, the foundation of the reading is by giving him that top secret clearance, it gave him some kind of strength on the world stage. The King of Wands. Yep. Now, in the past, this is the compromise card. This is the crossroads card. This is heavy choices needing to be made and decisions needing to be made. But there's also a compromise aspect here as well. That is what the White House Counsel and the security intelligence people were weighing up in giving Kushner that, or recommending that he didn't get that clearance. The Five of Swords is suggesting there's some kind of abuse of relationship or authority here. This is the bullying card, and this is Trump overlaying it all. So, look, I just want to stop here because I think this is the situation in a nutshell. He wasn't given the security clearance because his financial independence was compromised due to loss. In giving it to him, it put him in a position of strength and authority which wasn't necessarily mirrored or justified by his past actions. Those recommending against that considered all of this. There's plenty of evidence there. There's a trail there for Congress when they look as to why he shouldn't have been given that. But there was some kind of compromise done. Over the entire reading as to why this has happened is the misuse of authority here. Abuse of authority here. Okay, and the immediate future, this issue's not going away. This is the card of challenges. This is the card of rivalries. This is the card of competition. This is the house digging into this issue. There's plenty to be seen here, viewers. And the house is going to try and get a good view. Right, loans and debts is the situation at the moment. This is tying in with the potential being compromised because of his financial situation. What is in the environment is income sources. What are we going to find out when the dust has settled? What are we going to learn? This is the environment around Kushner at the moment. The hopes and the fears card. Well, this is the Nine of Pentacles. It can be the smug merchant. This was Trump back in 2016, early 2017. The hope is that his influence will come to bear on this still. This is also the wish card. But again, the fear is that this could indeed be what is going to be exposed here as to why he was refused a security clearance. It's the family money here, which is the outcome. Why was he refused a top secret security clearance? We've got the Ten of Pentacles, we've got the Kushner and the Trump, I think, family finances, and clarifying that is working in a covert way. This can be dark money with others to expand those business interests. So I'm going to ask just a yes/no question. Has he jeopardized US security interests in this whole debacle, fiasco? How could it have happened? Nepotism at its worst. How could it have been allowed to happen? Again, we come back to the GOP in 2017 and most of 2018, allowing these sort of things to happen, not turning a blind eye and letting it go. I do remember the controversy over Kushner's clearance, but it all just sort of went away. It died down. It wasn't pursued. In the meantime, his security clearance at the top secret level was renewed or continued on without potentially anyone taking too much of notice. It certainly disappeared off our screens. Did Kushner at any time, wittingly or unwittingly, naively betray, negatively affect US security interests, national security interests? I'm just getting like a crawling kind of feeling, like potentially this web of information's going out into the wrong hands. Did Kushner betray US national interests, security interests? Yes, no, Spirit, Kushner. All right, let's see. Juggling and manipulation. Justice coming down. Because of that, the sword of truth. We've got the Queen of Pentacles here, and I'm really feeling Ivanka quite strongly. I think this might have been, I was going to say tag team, but there's, he didn't do this in isolation. She's sitting here as well. And indeed, we've got the support here coming. Now, this could also be, this sometimes comes up as the DC judge that is overseeing the Mueller grand jury. So we could see, this is directly under the Two of Pentacles, we could see something happening there. Justice is coming quickly for Kushner, okay? And this is mirroring the Justice. This is the Tower card. Whoops. Things coming forward strongly and quickly. You better hang on for the ride. Yep. On the world stage. Okay, it's pretty clear there's an Ivanka element here as well, playing around, she and Kushner playing around on the world stage to further their business interests. Justice is on their tail, though. So I think, I think what this reading is saying is that potentially Kushner, and indeed I'm getting Ivanka coming into this reading as well. There's something around what they've been doing with information that they've been privileged to have, and it's almost as if they're, while they might not be overtly doing sharing things, there's certainly been enough information go out widely. Perhaps when they were doing, in the interests of doing their own business, about the US that shouldn't have gone out. So let's see, because we've got, I know this is a long reading, but because we've got the Justice card and the Chariot card there, are we going to see an indictment for Kushner? I think we're going to see something happening reasonably soon in relation to Kushner. Is Kushner going to face charges as a result either of 2016 or his campaign in relation to Mueller or any other investigation, House, Congress? Is Mueller going to face justice because of his actions from 2016 onwards until now or beyond? Is Kushner going to face some kind of charge? Because we're getting that Chariot and the Justice card. Okay, so we've got loss and walking away. I felt he might actually be leaving the White House. We've got the Star of Hope coming forward here, and that is, I think, representing the general hope that this all will finish. This will be mess will be cleaned up and allow for new starts. Mirroring the Lost card is the Lost card. Mirroring the Eight of Cups, which is the Lost card, is the Lost card. Definitely saying that he'll be losing. He potentially could be walking away. This is also, I asked, will he face some charges? And this is indicating that he may well do. That he will be suspended in some way. This is where the hope, if you go back to my readings, hope and change, this is where we start. If these things were left, they weren't probed, they weren't investigated, then you wouldn't have this loss and suspension potentially of any wrongdoing or alleged wrongdoing that Kushner and indeed other members of Trump family and Trump himself may be doing with that presidential office. There are secrets to be revealed which will lead to our new start. Yep, here we go with the Chariot coming forward, mirroring the Hope card. Something's getting ready to come forward. Yep, Tower card. His security clearance is going to be withdrawn because of his relationships with foreign bodies which have nothing to do with the US and have more to do with his business. His security clearance is going to be withdrawn. Why is it going to be withdrawn? Because he's going to face some kind of justice as a result of his actions. I'm going to leave it there. That's the Kushner reading. I'm going to look at, for my next reading, I will look at those congressional investigations. Thank you, viewers, for tuning in. Thank you for your support of the channel.